Welcome back to TTBA Video Cast Pod Episode 7. We're here with Michael Grant, founder and CEO of Texas Thread. Michael, how's it going with you this year with the CNYSA team?
Well, I got two teams this year. I got a third grade boys and a second grade boys. My third grade boys took second going into playoffs, and my second grade boys they took second as well, but they're undefeated. So we're having a very successful season.
I got a few questions for you today. I watch your team play from kindergarten on up, and y'all come and battle a lot. So give me a little insight on what you do to keep these kids going. You going on 3 years, 4 years with these kids?
Well, the one thing that I focus on is fundamentals. The difference between my teams and the next team is, at the first part of the season, we don't run any plays, we don't go through any plays. We strictly focus on dribbling and shooting. We critique the form, and I think, and that makes the difference of playing against these teams. Like I said, we focus on fundamentals, and that shows on the court. We just now started putting in some plays, but my thought process is if you can't dribble or shoot, we shouldn't be running any plays.
I like that. So give me a little bit about this. You played Forgan, right? The first game. You guys had a big win in that one. What happened the second go around?
Well, Forgan had his son was actually hurt. He broke his arm, so he was in a cast, and the refs let him play, but it was more or less he was limited. So they have a really good team, and I think they made some adjustments on the stretch that they had our number the second go around, and we technically probably should have got beat. I called a timeout at the end. We made some adjustments that allowed us to limp out of that game. And it's looking like we're going to have to go through them to get to the championship. And one of the things that I'm focusing on is we got a couple of adjustments that we're making to try to counteract their adjustments that they made. So, like I said, that's a good team. We battled tough every time we play them. Like the first time around when we played them, it was close at the beginning. Whenever they put Forgan in with the broke arm, that's when we went on a 15-0 run. But until then, it was similar to the second game. So it's going to be a good game.
So do you think that the last 2 minutes with the press, you think that's what helped you out in that game there?
I don't think the press actually helped me in the second half. The first half, they went up 6 points on us, and that was when we jumped into the press. Alfonso and Bryce was able to capitalize with the press in the last 2 minutes of the first half. So absolutely, the press was a factor with our success. Had we not been able to do a 2-minute press, we probably would have lost at least by 10 points.
Just watching from the sideline there, it was one game to watch there. You look around, it's a big swing there going towards the end. So, I was glad to see you guys pull that win out, but I understand that you had a tough loss this year with the third grade team as far as Roy City you played, that you lost to?
Yes, so that's McMahon. They have been giving us trouble for the past 2 years. Prior to last season, they hadn't beat us. Early on in the season, they gave us our first loss. And then in playoffs, we was up 10 points on a run, and they went on a 10-0 run, sent to overtime last year, and knocked us out of the semifinals. This season, again, we was up a couple. I think the most we was up was maybe 8 points, and we just unraveled. My team wasn't used to playing from behind, and I think they got a great team over there. I got a couple players on that team that play with my select team, threat team during the summer. Great coaching, great parents, and it was just a learning experience for my team. And I think more or less right now we hadn't made any adjustments for that team because I feel like we got to get past Forgan first. So we're really focusing on adjustments to play against Forgan, and once we get past them, we'll have a week. If we can get past Forgan, we have a week to make some adjustments to try to get revenge on McMahon.
Now, do you think that loss, do you think that hurt you guys a little bit, or as far as, your momentum-wise, or you think you guys bounced back pretty strong from it?
Well, I think more or less it was good for the kids. It was good for the kids. It was good for the coaching staff. Me, myself, I think it was a very humbling experience. It was one of those things where we had to go back to the drawing board and realize that we can work on some things. I think for the kids, they walk around with the chest out, haven't been contested. Even Forger was supposed to give us a good game the first time around, and we blew them out by 20 points. So, and I know that we watched McMahon play them, and they took a loss to McMahon. Well, McMahon took a loss to Forger. So at that point, we was thinking that we were gonna skate out. And so to see McMahon come in there, and like I said, their adjustments, they was ready for us, and they gave us a heck of a game. And like I said, we can't really focus on McMahon right now. Ultimately, I would like to be able to get back to the championship and battle it out with McMahon. Like I said, I like the coaching staff over there. They're very classy, and it's very a competitive game, and it's like I said again, a very classy game. So it'll be a great game to watch. Even the fans from that team, you don't hear any negative stuff screaming. A couple of teams we play in the end season, they take away from the actual game being played because of the approach. They forget that we're playing against kids. But like I said, the McMahon right now is not our focus. We get past Forger, then we'll sit back and we'll make some adjustments to get ready for McMahon. But we got to take it one game at a time.
So, if you mention Michael's name, they always say it's that third grade team that you have that's always competing. But tell me a little bit about that second grade team.
Well, that second grade team, I practiced them together with the third grade team, and honestly, they scrimmage a lot. And I tell my third grade that my second grade is playing better basketball right now, and I think that they could actually take them. We got two powerhouses on that team. We got Caden Bell, he's out of Greenville, and we got Parker Scott. Both of those guys are very coachable, very athletic, and they've really grown from the beginning of the season. Parker's dad is one of those that is a skills coach, so he does skills coach all over North Texas, and a lot of players are very successful with him, and he's starting to coach his son now, and it's starting to show on the court. My philosophy is if you show a kid and you give a kid some attention and some direction, it'll pay dividends for you. A lot of these kids, parents think more or less that they just take them to practice, they pay the $100 to play, and the rest of it is just written. A lot of times, if you just take that 10 minutes twice a week to work on critiquing what the dribbling and stuff like that, that goes a long way. And you can tell that somebody's working with Parker. Like I said, both of those guys have some energy to be in second grade I have never seen before.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing. Parker. I haven't seen anything like that in a long time. And he's left-handed, right?
Yeah, he's left-handed, and it's been a awesome ride. You see coaches trying to make adjustments, and they're yelling to push him left, and they have no idea that he's left-handed. But he's very good with his right too, so it makes it tough to guard.
So, how did that playoff game go for y'all the other night? That second grade team, how'd they do?
Well, we started out slow, and I think a lot of that was more or less they're used to playing on the weekend. So they had attended school all day, and to come what would normally be a practice and had to play a game. That's the one thing at an early age, these guys are not used to playing during the week, and so we had a slow start. I think we was at halftime, we was up by 10. After halftime, they really woke up, and we went on a 10-0 run, wound up 20 points. Anytime we go up 20 points, I try to pull my big three out, which is Parker, Caden, and Slade. I try to pull them out and let everybody else get playing time. But one thing I've noticed by pulling these kids out, they're at every practice, they're working hard. Whenever I pull them out, they're suffering from it. So the one thing that we put in play is a stall. So that allows us not to run the score up, and we keep it classy and good sportsmanship. But we run into a stall where those good kids that would normally have to sit the bench because of the score, they get to get back in the game. They get to work on stuff when we run a stall. And I think more or less when we run a stall, it's teaching them. There's a team that we hadn't came across that are undefeated, and they took courage going in the playoffs by points allowed. And I think that's going to pay dividends if we can make it to the championship, to be able to stall if we get a lead. So that's one of the things we try to do. And even before the stall, we got them swinging around and looking for kids that hadn't scored. So it's not like we're trying to run up a score. I know at the end of that game, we had a couple parents very upset, screaming some crazy stuff in front of the kids about us stalling. But to me, it's a double-edged sword. Either we run the score, that team could have scored 100 points on that team. And I'm not the coach that'll run the score. I don't want to I don't want to ever beat a team more than 20 points if there's something I can do about it. And I think I pulled it in early in that second half. I took the gas off the pedal and allowed them to just focus on some fundamental stuff, but no shots. So.
Well, Mike, I just want to let you know, good luck to you in your second grade and your third grade team in the playoffs.